Hello everyone and welcome to My Hobby Home. My name is Cathy. Thank you so much for joining me today. I am going to do a little bit of sewing on my 4-patch. If you saw in my update, I had everything pinned and ready to go. So we're going to get sewing, do a little chit-chatting while we're working on this. And I know I probably have a few questions from some of my subscribers. So if you're new here, you may not know what I'm talking about. But for those of my subscribers and those that want to know what's been going on, you probably saw the video yesterday. I do have an update. Stay to the end and you'll get an update. But it's all good, just so everybody knows everything is good. And I am so happy to be back in my sewing room today. I've got something that I've noticed going on with my machine here. It is creating a nasty mess under my machine with my bobbin. I may have to redo my whole bobbin because something is going on with it. I literally end up with a rat's nest under the bottom. So y'all, this is a Bernina B790 Pro. If you know what's going on, please tell me, because I don't have a clue what's going on. It's catching threads under here. I don't know what's going on. I mean, I just had a mess of a rat's nest the other day. This is my bobbin. It still is over halfway filled. Let me just check everything here. I'm going to check everything and I'll bring you guys right back after I check it. Okay, y'all, I've checked everything on my machine. It's got a new needle in it, so I don't think that's what it is. So what I am going to do is re-thread my machine. I just cut it at the top and pull it all the way out. What it's been doing is making an enormous mess in the bobbin area. And I don't know, maybe I have my thread on too tight or something. Maybe it's not threaded properly. Maybe something come undone. But it's just creating a very big, enormous mess down in the bobbin area. And when you turn your project over, it's a lot of long strings under there. So I'm not sure what's happening there. I have the correct plate on. I have a size 80/12 needle, which is good for cotton. You know, the quilting cotton. I have a good bobbin. I have my thread. I've re-threaded it. We're going to see if that works. But if it doesn't, I am going to have to call my Bernina dealer and have them set me an appointment to have my machine service to find out what's going on with it. Because this started, I thought it was the project I was working on. I was working on a vinyl project when it started, and I thought it was the vinyl, but I was using the correct needle size, and I have a Teflon foot. I think that's what it's called. It's the foot that will go on vinyl. But I'm hoping maybe this did it for me. So let's try this out and see. Because what it's doing is it's starting to pull the fabric over to the side. And I think that may have did the trick. Going to pull my needle out just a little bit here so I don't sew on it. But guys, are y'all okay? So today is Tuesday, you will be getting the, I think today's Tuesday. Is today Tuesday? I think today is Tuesday. I've had a very long past. Yes, today is Tuesday. My husband had to go back to work today. So y'all see what kind of days I've been having. But I tell you what, I came in today and I checked on my garden. And oh my goodness, y'all, my okra is exploding. What I am going to do, I love fried okra. But that and pickled okra are the only two ways that I will eat it. So I am thinking I'm going to do a small batch of pickled okra. So tomorrow when I get off work, I am going to have to go by the grocery store and get me some dill. Because I didn't grow dill this year. Because I really didn't know what herbs I would need in my food preservation. And I'll have to grow some dill for sure. Because I'll be fermenting pickles. And I'll be doing my pickled okra. I'll probably do that every year. But I have some okra in the freezer. So I've been freeze drying okra. And I've been saving some because I still have some left from last year that I cut up to fry. Because I like fried okra. It is so good. That is a southern delicacy. Is some yummy fried okra. And I do not do the flour coating on my fried okra. I do the cornmeal coating. I put a little bit of flour in there, but I love fried okra, y'all. I love it. So, I'm going to get on here and talk about food while I sew. How about that? But, anyway, I worked in my garden a little bit. I don't know if I had told y'all I have reseeded my cucumbers because the first starts that I had, they just weren't good. I did not like those burpless cucumbers. They were, And it didn't matter how early you got them, they were bitter. And the burpless cannot be pickled. They cannot be canned. Because there's an enzyme in them that will cause them to be mushy. So I pulled those plants up. They were still producing. I had probably about 20 cucumbers on the plants. I just pulled them up, threw those cucumbers in the woods for the deer, and I planted me some national pickling cucumbers. And they are doing great. I have blooms on them already. I don't have any cucumbers on them. But what I'm going to do with those cucumbers, I'm probably going to ferment. I know my daddy and them probably want some sweet pickles, but I'm not going to do sweet pickles because I can't have the sugar. I'm trying to get away from the sugar. But I'm thinking about fermenting and maybe pickling some spears or sandwich slicers or something like that. Because I like dill pickles. And I think my husband likes dill pickles. And those are the only two people that I have to be concerned with is the two of us. Because we do both like dill pickles. And that's all I'm cooking for is he and I. So, I've got that. I checked on my herbs in my back garden. And my basil looked like it was ready to bolt. So, I pinched the tops off of all my stalks of basil to maybe give me a little more time. Because I do want to do more basil and make some basil salt. And I have my cayenne peppers, y'all. Oh, they are just putting on. I'm waiting on them to turn red. I've picked some that were green, but I don't think that was right. I think I should have waited until they were red. So the rest of the ones I pick, I'm going to wait until they're red. The other ones I did freeze dry them so I can make powder out of them. But I'm going to have my husband test them and taste them and tell me if he thinks they're good. Because I'm probably going to put a cayenne pepper in each one of my jars of pickled okra. And if they're not good green, then I'll put a red one in there. I'll wait for them to turn red. And I don't know what I'll do with the okra. I don't think I can freeze it before I pickle it. But I am so ready for fall to be here. Pulled out my crock pot the other day and found that it's missing some stoppers on the bottom of it, and the lid had a crack in it. I do cook in my crock pot sometimes in the summer because I just don't want to heat my kitchen up. But in the fall, in the winter, man, I use that thing 2 or 3 times a week. So I had to get me another crock pot coming in. And with it being just my husband and I know I didn't need a large crock pot, but I think I still got a 6.5 quart crock pot because it's just my husband and I, don't mean I'm not feeding a lot. My daughter and her fiance both, they like, I make a soup, it's a something tortellini soup, and sausage tortellini, I believe is what it is. But we all like that soup. It is delicious. But now I'm going to try to make it with homegrown ingredients, not the tortellini. I will continue to buy that, but that's going to be a very sporadic event. You know, we're not going to be eating that a lot. We'll probably be eating a lot of, I have a recipe for taco cabbage soup. Delicious. And we like that one. I like that one. I don't know if anybody else does, but if nobody else likes it, I can always package it up and take it to work with me for lunch. But I love the fall. I love when we start having cool evenings, and I love coming in from work and just smelling a good soup in the crock pot. Oh, I just love it. If I didn't need a programmable crock pot, I would have gotten one of them old timer ones that's just the round ones. Those are the absolute best crock pots. But I have to have a programmable one for it to cut on at a certain time. And so I have to get one of those. So I had to get me another crock pot. I probably could have just got another lid, but I wasn't real crazy about this crock pot. I mean, I liked it. It had a lot of different functions on it. I'm still going to keep it and order a lid if I can find one. But you know, them stoppers on the bottom of those things, they're kind of hard to find. Because you have to have a certain size to fit on the bottom of them. And because I found some and bought them on Amazon and put them on the machine, and they were like extremely huge, bigger than what was on there. So I had to take the ones that was on there off, and these really don't stay on there real well. So it's not something, but I got a programmable cook and carry, and that's the one that's got the locks on the lids. I just like those better. I feel like they hold the heat in better. And if I have to carry it somewhere, it's safer to carry. I'm not going to spill it in my vehicle. which is a goal for me. I don't really like, I have done that before. I have spilled chicken tortilla soup in my truck because I make chicken tortilla soup every year for Christmas. And I normally make the largest crock pot that I have and never have any left. So, everybody in my family. We used to have everybody come to my house the night before Christmas Eve, and we would do soups and sandwiches, and we would play Mexican Train. It's a domino game. We always had so much fun doing that. But, you know, after the quarantine and all, we kind of got out of doing that. We got out of having family events because when we had the whole family come together, we would easily have 30, 40 people. And, well, I say 30 or 40. The eve of Christmas Eve, we wouldn't have that many people. We'd have probably easily 15 to 20 people. Sometimes we could have 30. But, you know, we have our kids, and then they have spouses, and they have kids, but, you know, we just decided the eve of Christmas Eve, that night was just easiest for everybody because, you know, we had family coming in town. My little sister would be coming in town and her kids, and it kept my dad and stepmom from having to feed everybody for, you know, all the meals. So I took over that night, and I'm like, you know, we could all get together and play Mexican Train because we all loved doing that. Now, when I take these apart, I'm going to have to look at these because for some reason, some of these don't look like they match up too well. Like that one there. I don't know. I made it match. So it don't matter if it does or not. I made it match. But I just, on this is my Kitty Christmas. And I used just a white tone-on-tone fabric that I had in my stash. So yes, this is helping me smash my stash. That's what I'm trying to do. Even if I buy new fabric, I'm trying to use something that I have in my stash, either as background, backing, border, anything like that. And I think I counted, I have, I think 5 new patterns that I'm wanting to work with. And of course, I will bring you guys along with me. And, oh, these are just, I'm loving all this fabric here. I know some of y'all saw that Willow's Farm with those cute little animals on it. Those just got me good. But I have some different storage boxes coming in. Because I have, like, everything that I got for the kitty corn quilt, I'm going to put it in a bigger box than what I have, because these project boxes that I have back here aren't really big enough for things like that, because that's a lot of fabric. And normally, I don't use my project box until I have the fabrics cut out. Well, I want to put the patterns with all the fabric. So, if I have all of the fabric to make the pattern, I will put it in one of these boxes. And it's 6 boxes that I have coming. And I don't think they're extremely large. I think they may be like 6.5 feet tall, which would be tall enough, I'm hoping. But that way, I can focus on because I lose track of what projects I have fabric for, and I buy more. But sometimes you see a pattern, and like I saw in one of my hauls, there is a video of one of my hauls where I got a pattern at my local quilt shop. I've been eyeballing this pattern for a while. It was just absolutely beautiful. Love it. And I just decided, you know, it would be beautiful with that berry basket that I got at the quilt show. And I had almost every piece of fabric that I needed. I did need some extra of some of the yardage, because that I got at the quilt show was only like a total of a yard for like 7 different fabrics. 7 or 8 different fabrics. And I needed more than that, a yard on some of the pieces of fabric. So I went and got that. But this extra fabric that I have left over, that's going to make a cute little quilt too. I could probably use some of that as a border, a backing. Well, I wouldn't use it as backing. It's not going to be enough to use as a backing. Well, y'all, I don't know what I did, but whatever I did, it fixed the problem. But this is the Disappearing 4 patch. Let me see. I do have the link down in the description for this pattern. It's material. It's on Material Girl Quilts website. This is the one that it is. And I have the link for this one down in the description. She does have another one on there that isn't like a step-by-step like that. So, this is the one I have down in the description. Now, this is what the block that I use, and I only used 2 different fabrics. I used 1 print and 1 color. So, that's why it looks like this. These are going to look different because I'm using 2 different prints and 1 solid in all of the squares. So it's not going to look like this and this. I'm going to have 2 different blocks on the corners there, which is going to be fabulous. I've seen this with different fabrics. Now, I mean, if you want to do a Disappearing 4 patch where you only have 2 colors and you do it like this, that is perfectly okay. It's your quilt, y'all. Some people, you know, it's your recipe. Make your recipe to your liking. Or what you have. I mean, I may have a yard of this and a yard of this, and hey, let's make it up. And this does use 1 charm pack. Well, it actually uses 2 charm packs. 1 charm pack of a solid and 1 charm pack of a print, whichever you prefer. Now, I do believe that I will probably, most likely, be making a lot of Disappearing 4 patches, because I think this is beautiful. I love this. And guys, I'm not going to have a very long video tonight. I just wanted to come in and chit chat with y'all for a little bit. Let y'all see that I am working on this Disappearing 4 patch. I'm going to have it ready to start cutting on for our next session. I'm just so happy to be back in my sewing room, y'all. I really am. I miss sewing if I don't get to do it every day, but I was with my grandbabies Saturday, Sunday, and then for the update, we were in the ER with my grandson last night. He's had a horrible cough and just a really bad runny nose. But the cough had gotten worse. And then when I saw him, he looked like he had a fever. His poor little eyes were red and puffy and glassy looking. And his eyes normally sparkle. I mean, he's got both of my grandbabies, y'all. My granddaughter has got the biggest dark eyes. She's got brown, I think is what hers is. And my grandson has the biggest blue eyes. Oh, their eyes are so dreamy. But his little eyes weren't sparkling last night. He just looked like he felt awful. So, we met Mama and Daddy at the emergency room. And they took him in. They tested him for flu strep and the vid. And he tested negative for all of that. And they just told her to take him to his primary. Now, when I tell you what the primary did and said, I was really upset at the emergency room doctor. When he went to the doctor today, now, the funny thing is, he sees the same doctor that I see, which she's a general practitioner, but she specializes in gerontology. Old people. Me. That's me. I'm old people. But, y'all have to forgive me. My shirt just feels like it is sliding off today. But she tested him for RSV, just so y'all know. I had a lot of people ask me today, did he have RSV? No, he does not have RSV. They tested him for that. He don't have the whooping cough. He don't have the croup. He's just has a double ear infection. I'm wondering why the ER doc did not catch that last night. And the doctor even said that his cough and his lungs are not matching. He has got the most horrible cough, and when he breathes, you can hear him gurgling. She says you can hear stuff in his lungs, but I'm guessing it's not just in there. It is moving. So she has given this poor little baby a steroid and an antibiotic, a pretty strong one. So I talked to my daughter earlier, actually right before I started recording, and I could hear him in the background playing. So that makes my grandma heart just so happy. And my daughter was asking him, what you want to do on Halloween? What you want to be on Halloween? And he said, Bub, 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 Bub. That's his dog. His dog's name is actually Gunner, but they call him Bubba. So that's his best friend. He loves his dog. It's a beagle. Of all things to have is a beagle. But he was playing, and I could hear him just a chitter chatter. And last night, y'all, he wasn't doing that. And that scared me because I held him while Mama and Daddy filled the paperwork out in the ER. And he just sit there and he was not playing. And when the babies don't play, because my kids, sometimes they could have a fever and they would still play just as hard. But when they get to where they don't do that, they don't feel good. And he just felt so bad. But thank you guys for coming and joining me here. That's my little update on my grandbaby. I'm so relieved now. I didn't sleep real well last night because I was worrying about him. But he is fine. He's got some medicines. He's not going to sleep tonight. I kind of warned my daughter he's not going to sleep tonight. But I'm so happy y'all joined me. I have all of my 4 patches done. Look at this. It's getting ready for me to cut, to start doing my flipping, to sew. But I am going to press all of these out before our next session. And thank you so much for joining me tonight. I am very happy that you're all here. If you're new, welcome. If not, and you continue to come back and visit with me, thank you so much. You are greatly appreciated too. Leave a comment. Tell me what you think. I do try to respond to each and every comment personally. And as always, until I see you again, I hope you have a very blessed day. Goodbye.